So welcome everybody to, I guess it is now officially the first afternoon of the White Knight show here in Cyprus. We're going to talk today about boosting game revenue with mobile strategies through Xsolla products and services. So a little bit about me. I'm David Stelzer. I've been the president at Xsolla for about 9 months now. I've been, prior to that, 8 years at Epic Games running the Unreal Engine business. I've been an attorney in the industry for a number of years and ran CAA's games practice in Los Angeles, so as a games agent for quite some time. And so a little bit about Xsolla. I'm not sure that people know quite how large we are at this point, but we're just over 1,000 employees worldwide. The map here will give you kind of an example of where we have offices and employees around the world, including here in Cyprus. So what we do as a business is, at the top level of our business where we process payments, we act as what's called the merchant of record. And this is really important as you start to hear more and more about payment companies coming into the market, what they can do. People talk about rates, what those rates mean. It's really important that you have somebody that's operating globally and can actually be your merchant of record. As a merchant of record, we spend a lot of time on the back office. So we basically take the payments on your behalf, we do all of the back office work, including taxes, compliance, and whatnot, and then we remit the payments back to you after we've done all of that. Sorry. And so Europe is now our third largest gaming region in the world. You can see here that 33.6 billion of the overall gaming revenue in the world comes from Europe. 715 million number is the number of players just here in Europe. 84% of that revenue is generally comprised of mobile games, which I'm not sure if that's surprising, but probably not here, where the chunk of the business that comes out of Cyprus is in mobile. And the insights on the Cyprus gaming market, you can see here over 30% market share in mobile games. It dominates the segments. The growth has been quite large as well, 28% year over year from 22 to 23. And I imagine it will be growing as we look into 24, closing that out over the next quarter. And this is a growing games destination here in Cyprus. You have 32 million in market revenue expected this year. 30% user penetration, 300,000 players in 2023, 8.49% CAGR, and what seems like a very good and healthy number of $66.20 as an ARPU. And we've already been working here in Cyprus. This is a good map of some of the bigger players here in the country that are using Xsolla solutions to help power the monetization side of their business. And we power game growth in Cyprus and beyond. Just here in Cyprus alone, we have 15 plus Xsolla employees. Sometimes that's the impediment that people have, is that they're not sure that there's actual help for them here in Cyprus. Well, there are 15 people here. We probably plan to increase that presence and have more people to be able to help and to grow this market. We find this to be a very important market for us at this part of the world. 35 plus payment methods to accept payments from players based in Cyprus. And worldwide, we have 400 plus web shops that have launched globally. This enables developers to sell your virtual currency, bundles, etc., directly to the consumer without the added burden of going through the traditional stores. And 30 plus Xsolla partners that are here based in Cyprus that are leveraging our solutions for game monetization and global reach that goes well beyond Cyprus and well beyond Europe. So mobile game developers face the following challenges. You have restricted market access, payment system restriction, data limitations, monetization challenges, unfair competition, integration issues. It's not a simple landscape. So Xsolla is here, and part of our main mission is to help developers overcome those challenges with our products and service. And we're going to talk about 2 of those today that we see as strategies that can be really helpful within mobile games. So the first of those strategies for maximizing monetization is to go direct to consumer, or DTC as we call it. This allows you to offer game installs and game purchases from a web-based storefront It's a storefront that you control. It's not a storefront that somebody else controls. It's outside of the major platforms. The web shops look like game pages, so to speak. And the second one is to broaden the in-app payments. So offer more payments than what Apple and Google are providing in their stores in a seamless way that gives the choice back to the players and gives more options for them in the ways that they want to pay. So let's start with the strategy one of direct to consumer. So the strategy, it does require some change in player behavior. The way we like to talk about it, and you can see here, is on the mobile device, we want that to be where I play. So that's always what the person, what we're trying to instill within the players is nothing changes there. You still play on your mobile device. It's where you know how to play. It's where you want to play. The behavior that we're trying to change is to get them onto these web pages, these web stores. And on web is where you want them to pay. And the reason that you're going to do that is you're going to get people to understand that they get more value proposition when they come to a web store. They're going to get better deals. They're going to get more currency. They're going to get a different experience than what they would get through where they play. And over time, we hope that that becomes the normal behavior where they understand I'm going to play on my phone, but I'm going to go pay and get more of what I want on the web. When it's on the web like that too, you now have a direct relationship to that consumer. You can have a dialogue directly with that consumer. You can know who that consumer is. A lot more visibility than what you would get by transacting directly through the stores. And with going D2C, like I said, it's out-of-store distribution. You're offering installs through APK distribution, or in-game purchases through separate websites that are outside of the App Store. So the whole thing with D2C is that everything is happening outside of the App Stores, within your control. You are creating a direct relationship with your player, something that's been missing for a long time. An example of developers that already use this to monetize their games, you have Gaijin Entertainment, Artstorm, Ultra Horse, Lingchai Limited. These are all very large-scale games that are all taking advantage of this D2C model. So, launching a D2C web shop. This is the best tool for mobile developers, and Xsolla will help you through that whole process. Web shops they're a white label digital store where players purchase in-game items, currencies, and top up their accounts, all from developers' branded websites. We will help you create those. We will help you manage what they look like. We will help you update those. The one thing that I will say that often gets missed in the translation of this is that oftentimes people think that it's a one-time thing where I just put up my web shop and all of a sudden it's a new channel for user acquisition. That's not the case. It still requires maintenance. It still requires marketing. It still requires a user acquisition funnel. It still requires this constant dialogue with your customer. And because we said there's a change in player behavior where you're wanting them to come to this website rather than to come to the stores, it requires some tweaking and new ways of thinking about marketing. And so your UA managers and your marketing managers are integral in making these successful, while Xsolla is integral in helping you get them up and running and making sure that they're doing what they're supposed to do. So 50% of Tilting Point's revenue is coming from their Warhammer web shop alone, which is a pretty interesting study here. You can see they have a capture rate of 55%, an ARPPU of $600, and sales count of 12,000 plus. This is an extremely successful web shop, but not uncommon for what's achievable within the market. We are seeing web shops bringing in revenue that shows lifts of somewhere around 25% and up. And so the benefits here of going direct to your consumer, you have more payment methods to offer them. You get more insights into your player base because you have that relationship directly. It's not being held hostage by Apple or by Google. And you get more retained revenue because you're not paying those higher fees at 30%. You're paying a much lower fee by controlling that flow directly. Okay. Moving on to that second strategy, which is expanding in-app payments. So to expand in-app payments, we have a mobile SDK. This mobile SDK is fairly simple. It allows you to simplify distribution through the app stores themselves. So if D2C is outside the app stores, this mobile SDK is for inside the app stores. And you can see here it gives more payment methods available for the consumer. So where they might just have access to GPay, this gives the ability for whatever other payment methods you want to be able to provide to your consumer, and that can be something that shows up differently for each of the different regions and covers any of our 700 plus payment partners. So here's some examples of the mobile SDK offering some of those additional payment options. You can see here, you've got Visa, you've got PayPal, you've got from our PayStation directly a number of different payment options. And all of these are customizable depending on how it is that you want this to appear. And the in-app payment benefits, it gives you, again, access to more methods for being able to pay in-app, so you're not forcing people to leave, you're not changing behaviors, you're just giving them more choice in this regard. And by doing that, you create more of a frictionless paying experience, and you do create some lower fees. Not quite as low as if you go D2C, but those fees would be lower than the straight 30% that you'd be paying to the App Store. And so adopting one or both of these strategies empowers you to unlock new revenue streams, reduce those costs, reach more players, and get more data. So all in all, you're giving the players more choice, you're allowing them to pay for things in a manner that they feel more comfortable, while at the same time you're engaging directly with your players should you want to do so. And over time, that builds better customer loyalty. It allows you to have this dialogue with your customers. You can engage with them in a way that kind of gives you insights into what it is that they may want from future transactions or future things that come into the game. And it allows you to bring more joy to those customers, which in turn, we hope, helps them to spend more money. So back to this merchant of record piece, and as an MOR, Xsolla helps you to tap into the Cyprus gaming market and beyond. So we're empowering game developers to go direct to consumer with these solutions tailored to the gaming market. Like I said, the Xsolla web shop, and the Xsolla Mobile SDK. Xsolla Web Shop, again, if you want to be off stores, Xsolla Web Shop is that direct-to-consumer flow. If you want to stay on those stores and be a little less friction, have a little less friction, the Xsolla Mobile SDK will help you achieve that. Okay. So, we ran through this pretty fast. There is a slight appendix here before I finish up and go into the questions, but some of the data, just so you can see a little bit deeper on what we have there. So when we talk about managing your game's distribution directly across multiple geographies, this is the different places where there's Google Play user choice billing, Apple Store billings, and then within all of these, we have additional payment methods that add up to that 700 plus different types of payments that you can bring within any of those territories. And that's all I've got for you. So I'll open the floor up to questions here.
Thank you very much.